As it turned out, the hot spring wasn't so bad, a fact that Keith begrudgingly admitted after several minutes of Shira's prodding. But when he said it wasn't so bad, he meant the water. The water was hot where it flowed out of the ground, filling the small nook with warm water, and trailing off the cooler temperatures as it flowed toward the attached river. He had been in hot tubs before, but never a natural hot spring. The added effect of being surrounded by nature and with rocks beneath him helped complete the pleasant atmosphere. It was different, but not bad. It had the potential to be very peaceful and relaxing. If there wasn't, a ton of people cramped and crowding into a small space. Hot springs and thermal pools like this can be found all over this area due to the region's large underground magma chamber, Karen was saying. He and Laura had managed to wiggle their way close to the spring's outlet, putting them right in the thick of the crowd that was currently listening with rapt attention to Karan's educational spiel. Keith had opted to stick to the edge of the crowd where the water was still warm, but without sitting thigh to thigh with strangers. Shira had joined them, politely declining Laura's insistence. In fact, as you drive around the area, you can see steam rising from places where the thermal springs reach the surface. It's quite an eerie and beautiful sight. Does that mean the volcano is still active? Laura asked. Why, yes, though only one of the volcano cones is currently active. Keith listened with half an ear, but his attention and his eyes wandered. Beyond the cluster of half-naked people cluttered in the small hot spring, there were a few people around the small pond of lukewarm waters that was deceptively still, despite being attached to a rushing river. They paddled around the water. Children climbed on rocks. A few people sat around the water's edge. There were a couple of families with dogs that sprinted through the water after toys. There were a couple of dudes sitting in the grass off to the side, sharing a joint between them. Keith's gaze swept over them all, but there was one swimmer who kept catching his attention. It was probably due to the fact that the guy was at the edge of the small pool, swinging against the river's current and not really going anywhere. He might have thought nothing about it if it weren't for the fact that the river's current was fast, and there have been several signs on the way down here warning of the dangers of swimming into the open river. So Keith watched him swim, still half listening to Karan. At one point he must have tired because he stopped swimming, dragging himself a little to the side to the rest in the stiller waters of the pool. He was able to stand there, half his chest peeking out from above the water's surface as he ran a hand through his short hair. Keith continued to stare because, wow, just wow. His skin was beautifully brown, but not the kind of tan he had seen plenty of locals have. It was a rich darkness that comes with genetics. Brown hair cut short and sticking up at odd angles from where his fingers had run through it. Built lean with broad shoulders and a well-shaped back and arms. He couldn't see much of his body, but he was willing to bet it was one of the swimmer. If the small glances he got were anything to go by. He slowly turned eyes lazily wandering around the hot springs, and they caught Keith's, doing a double take when he realized he was staring. Keith rose, stiffening, and unable to look away, despite being caught in the act. Now that he could see his face, he once again found himself thinking, wow. Then the man winked, lips curling into a knowing smirk. Then Keith bristled. Wanna do that? Sure asked, leaning close to speak slowly. You wouldn't mind doing that? Not at all. Wait, what? He blinked eyes, jerking away from the man to stare with mild horror at his brother. What? He said intelligibly. Shiro leaned back a little, nodding toward the man. Want to try swimming against the current? He rephrased, amusement clear in his voice. Though Keith couldn't be sure if he really understood the reason for Keith's panic. He hoped not. He hoped Shiro just took it as Keith panicking over the idea of swimming. in that rushing current, and not because he might have been checking the guy out. Keats let his face twist into something incredulous, lip curling as he said, "Not on your life. I know you're not a strong swimmer," Keats started. "That might be the understatement of the year. But maybe that guy can give you lessons." Shiro gave him a pointed look, lips curling up to the edges, while he nudged Keats' side with an elbow. "Shiro!" Keats groaned, shoving his brother's shoulder. "Stop!" Shiro chuckled. "Just trying to get you loosened up and enjoy yourself. Maybe a cute stranger is exactly what you need to distract yourself from a race." Keats crossed his arms over his chest, rolling his eyes to immobile. "Not likely." He could feel heat rising to his face and blamed it on the hot spring. Shiro just smiled that infuriatingly knowing smile and looked back toward the stranger. Keats turned his head away, though he itched to follow his gaze. Instead, he tried to focus back in on whatever Cran and Allura were talking about now. Somehow they had gotten on the topic of Lord of the Rings. How had they even gotten there from talking about the hot springs? Oh look, there it goes," Shiro said offhandedly. "What?" Keats turned around and immediately looked for the swimmer. He was no longer there. Brows furrowed. He followed Shiro's gaze until he spotted the man swimming downriver, or rather, attempting to swim across, but the river's quick current carried him down faster than he was managing to gain distance. Keats gasped, one eyebrow going up as the confusion colored his features. What the hell is he doing? Crossing his arms across his chest, Shiro leaned back. "Looks like he's trying to swim across." Keats snorted a short laugh. "Yeah, no, but why?" He shrugged. "Who knows? There are signs everywhere that say no swimming." "Yep. Maybe he's an athlete squeezing in some swim practice. If he drowns in the river, he can't exactly do the race." They twisted around on their rock seats to watch the swimmer's progress. Keats was surprised when he suddenly stood up about 3/4 of the way across, walking with the exaggerated slowness of someone wading through waist-deep water. "Huh, guess it's shallow over there." "Where's he going now?" "Looks like he's going around the bend." Sure enough, they watched as the man followed the shallow strip on the far side of the river, walking around the river bend and disappearing from sight. Keats blinked, half expecting him to come back. He didn't. What exactly was his plan there? Where is he even going? He looked back at Shiro, brows furrowed. The other man just shrugged with one shoulder. "Who knows?" "Why? Are you worried?" he asked, lips quirking up into a teasing smile. Keats scowled. "No, I don't even know him." "But you could have." "Doesn't matter. He's gone now. Along with your chance to get laid." "Shiro!" He held up both hands in surrender, grin widening. "I'm just saying." Keats glared at him, internally weighing the pros and cons of drowning Shiro in the hot spring. His biggest concern was Allura. But if he drowned him quickly, he might be able to slip away down the river before she could catch him. "What's going on over here?" Allura's voice cut through the staring contest, and they both turned to look at her. She slid through the water, coming to a stop next to them, a small smile on her face, brow quirked in amusement as she took in their expression. Corinne followed close behind. "Keith and I just watched someone swim across the river." She lifted with both brows, glancing out the river before looking back. "With that current?" Shiro nodded. "He got pushed pretty far down before he made it to the shallow spot on the other side. Then he just stood up and walked around the river bend without looking back." Allura's lips tugged into a small frown. "I hope he's all right. I'm not sure what's downriver." "It's a shame he disappeared. Keats was busy drool." Keats elbowed him sharply in the ribs, cutting off his words as he chuckled. Keats glared at him, ignoring the way Allura hid her smile behind her hand. They were silent for a moment until Corinne cleared his throat, and they glanced at him as he dramatically raised both hands, face forming an expression that was a hair too dramatic to be serious. And as he rounded the river bend, he disappeared from our sight, but not our hearts, he said theatrically, putting one hand to his chest and the other to his forehead, looking off into the distance. Allura chuckled behind her hand, and Shiro grinned wider. Keith snorted in amusement. Coran swept out his hands, splashing him a little in his enthusiasm. He lives on in legends, known only as the Riverman. I can't say the Riverman, so Riverman, Shiro sang under his breath. River. Allura and Coran echoed, louder and more enthusiastic. Oh, sorry. Riverman! Allura and Coran echoed, louder and more enthusiastic. People started to look at them, but they ignored the looks in favor of coming up with more tales of the Riverman. He just sat back and watched them, smiling. Alright,